Hey there mamas, and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a quick review on the Spectra S2 breast pump, which is what I've been using for the past almost 7 months with my son. And so when I was trying to decide which pump to get through my insurance, I looked for any reviews I can find, and I hope that you find this review helpful as you're trying to figure out which pump is going to work best for you. So let me just start by saying that to get this pump, my insurance provided it for free, and as far as I know, it is a law now that all, if not most, insurances have to cover a double electric breast pump for expectant moms. And so what I would recommend is when you're about 7 months pregnant and you go for your doctor's appointment, ask for a prescription from your doctor to get a breast pump, and then contact your insurance when you're about 8 months pregnant, which is normally what they make you wait for, is until you're 8 months. Then you can try and order a breast pump. But like I said, all insurances could be slightly different, so just double check with yours. But for mine, I had to wait till I was about 32 weeks pregnant to contact them, so 2 months from my due date, and have a prescription from my doctor. And then they basically just asked which breast pump I wanted. There was a choice of 3, and I chose the Spectra S2, and then they had it shipped to me within just a few days. It was really quick. But where you might run into some trouble is if you try and go through a third party, or like I did, I just tried to go through my doctor's office. They're like, oh, don't worry, we'll write you a prescription, we'll get a hold of your insurance, and we'll figure this out. But the company that they tried to use was a third-party company to contact my insurance to get me the pump, and that third-party company was trying to make me pay about $60-something for the pump, saying my insurance wouldn't fully cover it, which I knew was not the case. So what I ended up doing was completely canceling that, and I was like, no, not paying. I just went back to my doctor and I was like, I just need a prescription from you and I will take care of the rest. So the reason I'm telling you that is that I would recommend going directly through your insurance, whatever they need from you when they need it, and that way you're completely covered and getting the most out of your benefit, because you are paying for your insurance. And so if you can get a free pump through them, definitely do it. If you wanted to upgrade to something else like the Spectra S1, which allows for a battery operated pump rather than always being hooked up to a cord, you can still use your insurance benefit most likely, but you'll just have to pay a little bit extra to get that more expensive version of the pump. So anyway, back to the review for this Spectra S2. As you can see on the front, I'll go ahead and turn it on. It will start with the settings that you last used. So for me, it was on a 38 as far as the cycle, which is basically the slowest pump setting. It goes all the way up to 54. I don't know if you could hear it. So that's slow, goes up to fast. And then these two buttons over here start at a level 1 for the vacuum amount, so how much suction there is. And this goes all the way up to a 12. So that's the loudest your pump's ever going to get. And if you hear that, it's actually really quiet. So that's one huge plus about the Spectra compared to the Medela pumps, is that they're so whisper quiet, even at the highest vacuum setting. So in addition to those normal settings, you also have this button here, which is your massage button, or it kind of helps to induce a letdown. And so it's kind of a quicker cycle, and then you can vary that up to a level 5 for vacuum. So normally what I do is I'll do this letdown phase for about 2 minutes or so until I start to see a little bit of milk come out, and then I'll switch to the the regular vacuum. And I'll start with a high cycle setting and a lower vacuum setting. And as I go through my half-hour pumping session, or however long you pump for, I'll gradually lower the amount of cycles and increase the amount of suction or vacuum, so that by the end I'm pretty much at the highest level of vacuum and the lowest or slowest cycle. So that's what gets out the most milk for me, and everyone is a little bit different. But the other thing about this Spectra is that it has a feature that whatever you last had it on, when you turn it back on again, it has a memory feature that'll go back to that, which I guess could be good for some moms that pump at the same cycle and the same vacuum throughout their entire pumping session. But for me, I end on a very high vacuum, and I don't want my pump to turn on and start at that very intense vacuum. I want to start out much lower of a vacuum and increase from there. And so I actually don't like that memory setting, and so I always try and remember at the end of my pumping session to lower my vacuum all the way down to a 1, so that it doesn't hurt my boobs when I first turn on the pump. This button here is just a light, low and high and off, and then on the back there's a little cup holder. So that's the basics of the pump. And then on the front here you have the 2 hoses, and then you have the plug here on the side. So in addition to the pump, your insurance should supply you with your flanges, bottles, and let's see, and this part here that's basically is 3 little pieces that sticks on the back, and then this is what your hose will connect to. So you can pump with just 1 at a time, or you can pump as a double. You just basically have the choice. There's a cap down here, so if you only want to pump one side at a time, you can cap the other hose. And in addition to this 24 millimeter flange, they also provide you with a different size. This is a 28 millimeter flange, so 2 sizes there. And then my insurance also gave me the choice to have extra bottles and extra hoses shipped to me at the same time, and that was no additional charge or anything. It's just part of the insurance benefit. So of course I opted in for that, and they sent me a whole bunch more bottles, bottle caps, and another 4 hoses. So that was pretty nice, except that rather than sending you a bottle that has a nipple in it like this one, they send you all these bottles that are just capped at the top. And it's almost impossible to order extra nipples in the US. I have not found a place to order them. They're all cheap imitations that you can find on Amazon that don't work as well. And yeah, so basically I have the 2 original nipples that they sent me with the 2 original bottles, and that's it. So I have about 8 bottles and 2 nipples, which is kind of unfortunate. And so the other thing I really wanted to share with you moms is what bottles you can use instead of the standard Spectra bottle, because some of them are compatible, and it took some time to figure that out, but once I did, it was really helpful. So if you have any of these events, these are compatible to pump directly into, which is really nice. And then in addition to the event bottles, also if you have MAM bottles, these are also compatible to pump directly into, same exact bottle size. So that's nice. And if you're looking for storage, this is also the Event brand, but these are cups. They come in a package of 10. They have a lid. You can write on them. They hold up to 6 ounces. You can freeze the milk in here. And then it comes with an adapter that this will hook up directly to your Spectra pump as well. So yeah, so you have some options since it's almost impossible to get nipples for your extra Spectra bottles. So in addition to the pump, I also wanted to share with you moms what kind of pumping bra I use. This here is the Simple Wishes pumping bra. The nice thing about it is it's so adjustable. It's got Velcro that connects to both sides, and then also in the front, I don't have it any longer, but there was an extra piece that could separate the boob cups slightly more if you needed it, or if your boobs are a little closer together, it can fit you there. So it's really adjustable. They call it size extra small through large, and I will definitely link this down below. I like it a lot. It also comes with detachable straps, and the price point was pretty good as well, and it's super soft. So I recommend that. And then as far as a pumping bag, since we all need something to put all of this stuff in, I first had purchased a very expensive pumping bag. It was $100, and I quickly realized that I did not need that, and I sent it back to Amazon immediately and ordered something much more cost effective, and it's this very basic diaper bag. I will link it down below. It's kind of a no-name product, but it is roomy inside. It fits the pump and all the supplies perfectly. It comes with an included sort of insulated bottle holder, which is nice. Also in here, it doesn't come with this, but these are just some storage bags by Medela that I use. And then also I keep my lanolin Medela nipple cream in here, which I do recommend. I'll link it down below, because sometimes the pump can hurt, and it might mean that it's pulling your skin and you don't want to create any blisters, and so every once in a while I'll put a little bit of this lanolin on before I pump, just a touch, so that I don't give myself any blisters from the pump, which I have done before. It is not fun, so be careful. So I think that's all I have as far as the Spectra review. I hope that this was helpful. I would recommend this pump. From a lot of the moms that I've talked to that have had multiple kids and tried multiple different pumps, they seem to like this one better overall. So far it's the only one I've used, but I think it's pretty decent. Get it through your insurance. So anyway, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you found it helpful, please subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.